A biological hazard, or biohazard, is a biological substance that poses a threat to the health of living organisms, primarily humans. This could include a sample of a microorganism, virus or toxin, that can adversely affect human health. A biohazard could also be a substance harmful to other living beings. Biological hazards are widely found in the natural environment and as a result, are present in many work sectors and industries. Most biological hazards are harmless, but due to the health effects and problems, they can be a hazard and risk in all workplaces. Health issues can be a result of either direct exposure or related allergens and toxins. Although biological hazards are found in all work environments, some sectors are at a higher risk, such as healthcare, veterinary services, agriculture, sewage management, and laboratories. The term and the application of the biohazard symbol are used in situations where people are actively working with known biohazards. They can and do though exist in other situations, as it is in examples within the context of building and premises management. Legionella is an example of one that can contaminate a building's water systems and services. There are also a variety of biological hazards that may be present on construction sites. Bird droppings, for example in refurbishment or demolition sites, inhaling dust or water droplets containing contaminated bird droppings can lead to several diseases. Most biological hazards can cause disease in humans, from the common cold to life-threatening diseases. They can also cause other effects, such as poisonings, or provoke an allergic response. Biohazard transmission can be through a number of routes, the primary of which are injection, by contaminated sharp objects, like needle, scalpel, or through animal bites, scratches and broken or abraded skin. Absorption, directly through the skin, by hand-to-face contact and/or splashes to the eyes, nose and mouth. Ingestion, by eating or drinking items with a biohazard in or on them and by hand-to-mouth contact where the hands have been contaminated. And inhalation, where particles, vapors and/or aerosols are breathed in or respired. Types of biological hazard. Bacteria. This is a common microscopic organism, which can multiply rapidly and build up, causing infection. Most bacteria are harmless. Many types grow naturally on the human body in mucous membranes. Bacteria can be found on all workplace surfaces, in the soil and growing in various substances used by workers. Viruses. Viruses are different to bacteria as they are the smallest microbes. A virus is a core genetic material, either DNA or RNA, covered by a protective coat of protein. Viruses replicate inside other living cells. They can latch onto host cells, taking over their functions. The infected cell can infect new cells when stimulated. Viruses can cause several diseases in more advanced cell structures. Examples include chickenpox, cold, COVID-19, Ebola, flu, hepatitis, herpes simplex virus or HSV, measles, mumps, polio, rabies as well as rubella. Fungi. Fungi are more complex organisms than bacteria or viruses. They have a cell structure like plants and animals. Fungi can reproduce, generating spores. Most spores are dispersed by the air, traveling to a suitable location to develop. Spores then make pathogenic fungi a particular risk as they can be inhaled or respired. As well as causing infections directly through inhalation, ingestion or direct contact, fungi can also produce toxins, which can affect human health. Fungi can be found in damp soil and buildings. They can enter the body either directly or through spores being carried there through the air. Fungi need moisture to grow and reproduce. Therefore they are generally found in damp areas, like kitchens, bathrooms, and basements of buildings. Toxins from biological sources. Toxins are a subset of poison produced by living organisms. Poisons are any substance that can cause harm to an organism if enough has been absorbed. This can be either through ingestion, inhalation, or direct contact. Many organisms produce toxins either as a defense mechanism or for predation. They tend to be produced by bacteria, fungi, plants, insect, and animals. Toxins can be present in a variety of workplace settings. Venomous insects such as bees and wasps can nest in any number of workplace buildings and can potentially sting workers. In many countries, snakes and spiders are highly venomous, so can be a threat to workers. Other types of biological hazards are protozoa. These are single-celled and extremely small cells. Most people have protozoa living in or on their body at some time, and many are infected with one or more species throughout their life. Some protozoa are harmless, but many others are parasitic and produce disease. Infections range from asymptomatic to life-threatening, depending on the species and strain of the parasite. Protozoa can be found in many sources of water, such as fresh and marine environments and in soil. Therefore, they can be found in untreated water systems, wastewater and in agricultural settings such as fields and foodstuffs. Some are parasitic, which means they live in other plants and animals including humans. The most widely known protozoa is malaria, which is found in tropical and subtropical regions of the world. Biological agents are classified according to the risks to human health, animals, plants, and the environment. To manage health and safety risks effectively, organizations and workers need to fully understand them. Having a clear understanding of the biological hazards and how these affect individuals is crucial. The exact nature of the work and the biological agents and hazards which will be used or to which people or the environment could be exposed in the work should be described. There may be intentional or unintentional exposure to bacteria, viruses, fungi, parasites, or infectious materials in the work. Because these hazards cannot be seen with the naked eye, it can be very difficult to identify biological hazards in the workplace. Ways to identify biological hazards in the workplace are 1. Occurring as a byproduct or a contaminant of work processes. 2. Environmental biological hazards, including animal and insect transmission or zoonoses. 3. Communicable diseases brought in from outside the organization, transmitted from person to person. 4. Deliberate or the intentional working with biological hazards. Biological hazards should be treated as any other hazard in the workplace. They need to be assessed to determine how they should be controlled. A conventional, task-based risk assessment is a reasonable way of assessing the risks. When controlling the risks, a hierarchy of control approach is just as effective for biological hazards as other hazards and risks in the workplace. Measures to reduce exposure include but not limited to PPE, behavior change practices, and effective treatment if and when available. By implementing controls in the workplace, the risk of biological hazards can be greatly reduced, and, in some cases, they can be eliminated. This is Safety Talk Points. Thank you for watching.